Damn, I was saying a lot too. Good morning, good afternoon. Shout out to everybody. I hope your week has been great. We got a lot of information to talk about. We got a lot of information to cover. Um, we got some. I got some shocking news for you. I hope you're ready for it. I we got. I got a lot. I got a lot of info. Good morning, man. Do how you do, Mama do, Mama do. I got my glasses on, so here. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to look over here for it. All right, let me pull my screen down too, so and turn it to me. What's up, Tasha? What's going on? What's going on with you? What's going on with you? Um, it's so funny too. Yesterday, Tasha, after we talked, I just went on a rampage of information and pulling information and and I was already sparked, right? Like if for those that are new to the show, this is tech, this is tech stocks and jobs where we talk about a lot of things, but primarily IPOs. What are those IPOs? Technology. What is the technology behind those IPOs? How to either A, get a job in those IPOs or to invest, or should you invest in those IPOs? And then we also talk about money, we talk about wealth, we talk about everything. Today's show is going to be a show of a lot of information. I'm not going to tell you that you're not going to need to take notes. You probably are. I'm not going to tell you you're probably going to need to rewind this a couple of times. You may have to. And it may also spill over into the second show. I haven't decided where I want to stop yet. I'm gonna let you determine where I stop at. The second show on how we Linux at 2:30 East Coast time. It's going to be a technical show. In fact, I haven't even written notes for that show because I know what I want to say in that show and what I want to go over. That I just I don't know. We'll see. But good morning to everybody. Sorry about being on mute. Later 516. What's going on? Good morning. And D is in the background. So let's get started. I see people pouring in. But um I also want to um kind of set the stage on what this show is gonna be about. Yeah, and I said this before, I say it again. Um if you're not about getting and a lot of let me preface this. A lot of people get mad and get upset, and I think it's just us. When I say just us, I mean black people. A lot of people get mad and get upset when you talk about money. A lot of people get mad and upset when you start looking at money. And from what my encounters have been, it's only us. And then a lot of people out there will tell you to focus in on the specialization, right? So I'm neutral when it comes to specialization because I just think in tech right now, you just need to be aware of just where everything is going. Not saying that you're gonna do all those things. You just need to be aware of where tech is going. And the reason why you need to be aware of where tech is going is because you need to be aware of where the money goes. You just need to be aware of where the money goes. What's up, Just Jay? Good morning. Brown Foxy, what's going on? Good morning. All right, so I'm gonna kick the show off. I see y'all trickling in. That's all. That's all good. I'm gonna kick the show off. I'm gonna go over my usual intro, and then we about to talk. We about to talk. I'm telling you now what I'm opening up with. I'm opening up with money, um, and where it lies and where it exists and so forth. Right. I'm just gonna tell you that. All right, so we are Women of Linux. I am Tam. D is in the background. You can find us at womeninlinux.org. If you are looking to connect with us outside of our usual YouTube channel, and I don't know, Dee's not showing you the web page yet. I don't know. I'm not on the background of the. But let me find it so I can switch the viewing here. So not that one, but this one. All right, we are we are we are women in Linux, and you can find us at womeninlinux.org. If you want to connect with us outside of our normal Saturdays, this, that, and the other, connect with us on Slack. How do you get to our Slack? You hit connect here. It's going to drop you down into our women. It's going to drop you into a website. Put in your email address. Connect with us on Slack. Once you connect with us on Slack, there's tons of channels that we actually have in our Slack group. And let me pull my Slack up right now. So, because a lot of people come in and they're like, "Where's everything at?" You're gonna have to browse channels. But here is a ton of channels right here. I even have a channel. I sometimes I don't even talk about stuff that I really want to talk about, or I just didn't get a chance to talk about it or whatnot. I throw it into creating wealth. As you see here, there is a actual topic here from Coin Tracker, and Coin Tracker for this particular one was talking about what you should know for the IRS for filing your taxes because of dealing with crypto and what does that mean and what does that look like. I'm not gonna cover a lot of it, but I did post this inside of Slack. And if you look up here, this right here, this particular one right here, this right here is Shaq's Ethereum. This is his tag. So if you're wondering who's in Ethereum, here's Shaq. Here's Warren Buffett talking about stuff. We talk about real estate. I try to post stuff that I know I'm just not gonna get a chance to get get to it, but I do pull out information from some of these videos that I think should be highlighted, and I talk about them in the show as well too, right? So I mean, go you could go through this one and look at it and check it out, right? And then there's for those of us that are following with the RHCSA, here's the RHCSA channel. We start talking about well we start talking about just different um I talk about everything in our RHCSA study group, but we talk about everything from Terraform, Ansible, OpenShift, OpenStack, the whole nine. We have our Rust channel where we talk about getting to and understanding Rust and Solidity, and also Rust, Solidity, and blockchain. So we talk about that as well too. People ask, why are you talking about it? I think I posted the job that's in here, and I've shown this before. I don't need to show you again, but I'm going to show you again because it gets into what I want to talk about this morning. Let me look here for a job here. We pull that up. So this particular job right here. This was from. Oh, it's no longer available. All right, let me. I post. I'll find another one. Hold on. For X4. That's real. That should be real simple. But anyway, on LinkedIn, let me go over here. On LinkedIn, X4 Technologies, and they're not the only ones are posting jobs for people in that know Solidity, blockchain, and so forth. The person we had on the show, his name was Joe. But again, we're going to talk about their jobs. So let me go here to jobs for X4 Technology. And then let's hop down here and look for blockchain. Their jobs were hiring at 300,000 to $1 million, right? All right, so that's one. That's 170. Smart senior smart contract developer. Right here. Let's see if they got it posted. 100 for base on that one. All right, Rust blockchain developer, that's 200K, 200K for that one. And these numbers are gonna start making sense to you in a minute. 450K to 500K for a full stack engineer. Um, and let me scroll up. Is there a filter up here? Nope, no filter. Let me keep going. Smart contract 150 to 200. Let me see if I find some more. So smart contract developer 300 to 550,000. Senior solidity smart contract developer 750 to 1 million, right? So these numbers look, so when I talk about money and I talk about generating wealth and I talk about um, skill stacking, um, learning Rust, learning Linux, learning cloud, learning blockchain, learning AI, learning ML, these are skills that you're going to stack on top of each other, and I want you to be able to pick and choose where you want to go. It's nothing like being flexible into where you want to go, right? Um, and really drive your own career, not someone dictating your career and what your track should be. That's why it's important for you to be very knowledgeable on what is going on in the market, what is going on in tech, what is going on around the world. We see what's going on over with the Ukraine and so forth, and then you see how the stocks get affected. That you know again who one of the number one things that they export from the Ukraine is wheat, and I think they're the first, or the United States is the first. Now you ask yourself, well, what do you do with wheat? What are the different things that are the different dishes or things that we use wheat for, right? So you're looking at that. Then you're looking at energy going up. You're looking at China and Taiwan, what the issues are there with them going into battle, right? What are we looking at? Where is, where's the chip sector at? What are we looking to do, right? So we gotta be looking at every single thing, right? Because it those things affect us. They may not affect you directly, right? But they may affect you indirectly. So let's carry that mindset. So I've shown you jobs. I showed you women in Linux. Again, if you want to connect with us, again, drop down into the Slack group, where I'm there pretty much every day. And if you want to donate, again, you don't have to donate with your money. You can donate with your time. You don't always have to hear my voice every Saturday. You can come up here and say, Tamika, I want to do a show on X, Y, and Z. Cool, fine. Knock yourself out. I'm not gonna stop you, right? We're gonna sit down and have a conversation, but I mean, you don't have to hear my voice, right? And I understand some of you are shy, some of you don't want to talk. That's why we have Clubhouse, this, that, and the other. So I'm kind of trying to fill out where the happy medium is for everyone to talk and hear conversations and so forth. Like I know you don't want to hear me every Saturday. Like you want to hear a different voice. So we try to mix it up on the second show, so it's not mundane. It's not monotonous. All right, so you don't have to donate with just your money. You can donate with your time. Also, if you want to donate with your money, feel free. Click on donate here, and then with PayPal, you'll get the different offers that you can donate with. Right. So that's why I want to share. But let's get busy. Let me read the comments too. Yep, stock market is going wild. Yep, correction. Uh, yep, easy link to donate back in 2000. You know what? It's funny you say that back in 2000. And I started in tech back in, well, you said 2002, but I started in tech in 2000. But I just didn't. I wasn't feeling the pain like everybody was like we've been in a recession or we have been in these things. I have never felt none of those none of those things, because I've been in tech. I just haven't felt it. I'm just being honest, or maybe I'm just blind, but I just haven't felt those things, right? I haven't felt like, oh my goodness, it's no jobs out here. I can't get a job. I haven't felt that. I'm just being honest with you. I just haven't felt that. So I am naive, I guess you could say, to certain things that people have felt. I just have not felt that. I just want to be honest. All right, so cool. All right, yeah, we do have people come up, but people don't want to come up. We offer it, people don't want to come up. But let's get busy. Okay, let's do some fact checks here. Where are most of the millionaires at? Do y'all know? Let's pull it up. The first, probably the first half of the show is gonna be about money, right? All right, so here's what I've discovered. This is me going out doing a search, right? On what it is that we're doing and where things are at. Let me pull this up, right? All right, so here Amazon, Jeff Bezos is the world's richest person with 189.3 billion dollars in net worth. And this is from I'm pulling up millionaire stats, right? Millionaire stats, and it's gonna fluctuate a little bit from some of the links, but we're gonna get to it. Right. In 2019, 1% of the adult population, or 51.9 million Americans, million individuals, were millionaires. There were 22.46 millionaires in the United States. 40% of the millionaires live in the US, or 11% live in China. So when you ask yourself, why do people always want to come to America? It's because they want to come and get some money, right? Right? It's just really 40% of the millionaires live in the US and 11% live in China. And there are other locations where there are millionaires, but we'll get to that. All right. 61% of the millionaires, of the US millionaires, are between 60 and 79. I'm gonna give you some statistics. You got a double C on that statistics. I'll give you I'm gonna give you some information on statistics for black people, and it don't look good. You're gonna be mad, right? All right. On average, it takes 28 years for Americans to earn $1 million. This is what they're saying. Diane Hendricks tops the list of a self-made millionaire with her $8 million net worth. 75% of the US millionaires are white. Only 13.5% of the multimillionaires in the USA are women. 75% of the US millionaires are white. Right? Let's look at this. They talk about the wealthiest. We know this. We don't need to see this. I covered this before. We don't need to see that. Let's keep going. 2/3 of the U.S. millionaires are between the ages of 60 to 79. That's what they're saying. Most millionaires in the U.S. are between the ages of 60 to 79. According to Millionaires by Age data, namely 30% in the age of 60 to 79 group, and an additional 31% in the 60 to 79 and 70 to 79 age group. Nearly one-fourth of, or 23% of the U.S. citizens with wealth over $1 million are between 50 to 59. So, and then this is what they're saying for millionaires. About 15% are at least 80, right? And it says around 5% are 90. Younger generations are less likely to have a net worth of $1 million. Only 7%, those aged between 40 and 49, can boast a fortune of that size. About 6% of the U.S. millionaires by age group are under 29, and 2% between 30 to 39. So you 30 to 39-year olds, if 75% of the millionaires are white, what does that mean for the ages between 30 to 39 if 2% are millionaires? If you ever wonder how many millionaires under 30 there are in America, it turns out it's about 8% and is the right answer. With 22.46 million millionaires stateside, about 1.79 million are under 30. All right. White and Asians, white and Asian Americans have the highest chances of becoming a millionaire. Just giving you what they're saying. US millionaires by race data shows that Hispanics and African Americans, in contrast, have the lowest chances of joining the millionaire club. I want to highlight that. US millionaires by race data shows that Hispanics and African Americans, in contrast, have the lowest chances of joining the millionaire club. The latest millionaire statistics for the US show that the chances of Asian Americans with a high school degree to become a millionaire are 6%. White and Hispanics and African Americans with the same degree have the chances of 5 to 2 to 1% respectively, meaning 1% of African Americans will become millionaires. Right? With a master's degree, the white Americans have the highest chances of 38% of earning a 1 million. Asian, Hispanic, and African Americans have a chance of being a millionaire at 27, 11, and 6% respectively. I'm gonna stop right here. What they're saying to you is you ain't got a shot. They're telling you, based on stats, based on the facts, you don't have a shot. But I just pulled up a job that's paying $750,000 to $1 million. I pulled up another one that's paying $450 to $550. I posted a job inside of the Slack group that's starting out at $800,000. I'm asking you, I'm begging you to get to $200,000, and you will argue, as they say on Obama's internet, about 40,000 and 37,000. I'm embarrassed. We got to get to it. All right. 80% of the millionaires invested in their 401k. According to your average 401k balance by age stats, Americans aged 30 to 39 have average of 42,000. 42,000 by the age of 30, 39. So that means if we're not going to be billionaires to 60, what are we doing in our 20s to 20s and our 40s? Hell, even 50s. What WTF? What are we doing? This is embarrassing. With 80% of the millionaires having aggressively invested in their 401k, it makes sense why younger generations are far from hitting 1 million in their net worth. Moreover, 75% of the Americans worth at least $1 million invested outside of their company's plans. The Dave Ramsey 401 a millionaire statistics show. I'm not a fan of Dave Ramsey, but I hear you. 94% of the millionaires spend less than they make. I talk about it all the time. Make your money and let your money make money while you sleep. There's multiple ways to do this. We come here every week. I show you different ways. We don't get people to apply for jobs. Kudos to you that do apply. I'm proud of you. Kudos to you that are actually in the class and show up every week. Kudos to you that have actually purchased a course and actually started. But we need more. We need more than just that. We getting our asses handed to us. When I show you these stacks, you just gonna be like, I don't even want to listen to you no more. I want to go study. All right. At least when it comes to hitting the 1 million thresholds, you see, besides living on less money than you make, the richest people also spend about $200 on restaurant. Moreover, approximately 90% of the people valued at 1 million use coupons when shopping. Over three-fourths of the millionaires never received any inheritance. For the most part, the richest people in the US becoming a millionaire was playing the long game. In fact, the self-made millionaire statistics will surprise you when you discover that 79% of the millionaires didn't receive an inheritance. This is not always true. We're going to talk about Jamie Dimon. Do y'all know who he is? Look him up real quick. Drop in the chat if you know who he is. Drop it. Do you know who Jamie Dimon is? All right. Drop in the chat who he is. Go look it up. Before the billions was going on, he is the head of Chase Bank. Do you know how he made his wealth? Do you know how he got to where he was? It's a whole story. I need to start. I said I was going to do this, but I'm contemplating about doing this. I was going to drop my playlist of what I look at, like in investigate and look over. All right, 15% of millionaires hold senior leadership. That's fine. But where do the millionaires live at? California, New York, and Florida got the most millionaires. We talk about proximity to wealth. We talk about proximity to wealth. The list of the top 5 millionaires is complete with Texas and Illinois as 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 for where millionaires represent the biggest percentage of the population. New York leads the way with 8.51%. California, or I should say Los Angeles, leads the way with 5.34. Chicago 4.5, San Francisco 3.46. Top states: California, New York, Florida, Texas, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Arizona, New Jersey, Ohio, and Massachusetts. And everybody asks what's in Ohio. You already know what's in Texas, Florida, and New York and California. You know what's in Massachusetts. Top 10 cities. Let me say this before I start. The majority of Black people that live in the United States live in the Southeast. The majority of the Black people that live in the United States live in the Southeast. There's not a blip on that map. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, not Pennsylvania, but Phoenix, St. Louis, Tampa, Orlando. Let me see. What cities have I not visited on here? I haven't visited St. Louis yet. But all these other states, all these other cities I have. And I can tell you, yes. I can most definitely tell you Tampa and Orlando. Most definitely Washington, D.C. But where y'all think money is at in Washington, in the D.C. area, it's not where you think it is. Everybody screams PG County, but that's just for the Black statistics. That's only the Black people for the statistics. The richest county in Virginia is Loudoun County. It has an average. It has an average medium home. I think it was 147,000. Right. I pulled that up. I have my stats here. Most millionaires are married, have one child, and own a home. Married, 76%. One child, owns a business, 22%. Owns a home, 94%. Has a degree, 42%. Number of properties, 2.4. Average real estate portfolio, 919,000. The average age of millionaires in 2020 was 62. That's one stat. So I got a ton. Sit tight. All right. This print is small, but bear with me. Okay. It says you come to America, you work your butt off, and boom, you're a millionaire. What percentage are Americans are millionaires? So one of these statistics say between America and China. Another one say between America and Japan. We are not discounting Switzerland as well too. We're not discounting Italy. We're not discounting those. I'm just giving you what's out here, right? So here, United States has let's say 2.3 million between 2019 and 2020. A total number of millionaires is 20.27. The total number of billionaires is 788 billionaires. There's only seven black billionaires on that list. I think it might have been 10, maybe two got added last year, depending on when this was written, right? 323, 443 millionaire households in New Jersey. 76 of the U.S. millionaires are white, and it is in bold on this particular page. New York City has the biggest concentration of ultra rich millionaires. Ultra rich meaning 10 million or more, with 24,000. Ultra high net worth. That's what this UHNW stands for. Ultra high net worth. Let's go. Ultra high net worth. 30 million now. And I got news for you people. I'm gonna pull it up too. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now, and then I'll pull it up. What's the number for accredited investors? What's the number I always talk about for accredited investors? For a single person. Let me put it that way. What's the number? What's the magic number? Nobody knows? Okay. The magic number is 200,000. The magic number for accredited investor is 200,000. I'm going to deviate from what I'm reading here. And I'm going to pull up some new. Pull this one up. This just came out yesterday. Asha knows this. I talked to her yesterday. The SEC is tweaking the accredited investor definition. You know what the new number is for an accredited investor? I'm gonna let you take a guess. I'll wait. What the new number is? They're tweaking it. It's a new number. Put in the chat what you think the new number is. They tweaking it. It's 200,000 right now for a single individual. It's 300,000 for a couple. It's 1 million if you have a network assets. If you have assets of $1 million, or you could take the Series 65 or the Series 7, and it's another series. Bill said 500K. No, the new number that they're coming out with for accredited investor for you to become an accredited investor is 10 million. The SEC plans to reconsider who is eligible to invest in startups, privately held shares. Is stirring questions about equity and diversity. The agency's most recent regulatory agenda includes plans to propose a redefinition of the accredited investor status, potentially restructuring the pool of investors on who can participate in certain types of private offerings in an effort to boost investor protection. The policy direction could limit opportunities for investors for underrepresented communities and put the agency at odds with the Biden administration. The inclusion of more people also pushes the economic development ingenuity returns for the group of people who've been historically financially locked out of the ability to buy homes, locked out to levels of loan and access capital, right? The SEC has considered the issue in the past, but only to make modest tweaks. The agency is expected to pick it up again in April with a request for public comment on changing the definition of accredited investors who can participate privately held unregistered share offerings of at least 10 million. The SEC Business Capital Formation Advisory Committee recommended at the end of February, right? To qualify, a person must at least currently have 200,000 S for 2 years, and then the current year, and then 300,000 for the combined incomes over the past 2 years, with the expectation of the same or higher. People with a net worth of a million jointly, or a spouse, excluding the value of their home, right? But it also says that down here let me do here. Where's the thing? You can do the Series 65 I talked about, or the Series 7, right? So what does all this mean to you? I don't know what it means to you. I don't know what it means to you. All right. All right, so back over here, 44% of the US based millionaires live in California. 43.4% of the world's wealth is controlled by the top 1%. How many millionaires are in the US in 2020? The Global Wealth Report says that the total number of millionaires in the US was 20.27 million. The United States has 2.23 million from 2019 to 2020 alone. How many US millionaire households are there? There's 13.61 that have a net worth of 1 million or more, not including the value of their primary residence. What is percentage of the millionaires that is inherited? 20%. The rest, 80% are, it jumped on me. Oh, where it go? 80% are first generation millionaires. Right? Multimillionaires in the United States, of course, the only one part of many have more than one single and have so much more. How many people are 10 million or more? Have you ever wondered how many decamillionaires are in the US? What we did is 1.5 million. How many multimillionaires in the US? 8 million. How many multimillionaires in the US have over 50 million in net assets? 89,000. Right? Mm-mm. Which one I want to do? I want to do this one. Yeah, you can drop where you're at. Let's go here. It says getting to at least 1 million in net worth is a nice milestone to achieve. However, due to inflation, you need 3 million to live a traditional millionaire lifestyle, whatever that is. I have no idea. D can drop all the sources. I have all the links. D can drop every link on here. D, you can drop every link all the way up to the first two links and this link that I'm on right now. You can drop all this. You can drop all those links. You can even drop the link on the other one. Here, let me show you what I gotta go over today. Let me show you. Let me pull this over. This is what I searched. This is what I set up and search. Look, this is what I set up and search. These are my notes for today. for just this video, just this show. These are my notes. All right. So it says, let's drop down here because I want to get to the facts. Right. We talked about how many millionaires. We talked about where the wealth coming from. This right here, your chances of becoming a millionaire by educational attainment. All right, let's get to it. All right, Asians. If you look down here at the bottom, it's showing that less high school, HS is for high school diploma, associate degree is A, bachelor's degree is B, and master's degree is M. It says right here, if we're gonna follow along right here, Asians have a better chance. It says white and Asians are see better odds for education regardless of age. Improvements are less pronounced for Hispanics and blacks. All right. 95% confidence interval. If an Asian has a bachelor's degree, they're more than likely to be a millionaire. For whites, if they have a master's degree, more than the confidence goes up to 40%. The confidence goes up to 20% if they get a bachelor's degree. We, as black people, and those that are claiming or identify as black people, I should say that for the chat, are lower than the Hispanics with a bachelor's and a master's. I don't make this up. It's just what it is, right? I'm not making this up. It's just what's on the screen. It's how I'm reading it. Tell me if I'm interpreting this wrong, right? Your average chance, right? The chart says that the more education you receive, the higher your chances of becoming a millionaire across all races. So if you get a master's, you got a better chance, but that confidence goes up right here when you become white from on a master's, right? This makes sense with high paying jobs that often require an education, lawyer, doctor, executive management, and scientist. People say that getting your master's or your bachelor's don't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't want to attain a certain level of wealth if you're working. Let me put it that way. Some jobs require you to have a master's degree, some require you to have a PhD on those. I'm not saying that those jobs are right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what their requirements are. And then what their requirements are when it comes down to executive positions, we already know we get scrutinized or whatnot, but I'm just giving you in certain situations, like I give you an example. If you go work for the federal government and you do a DOD contractor, you need a bachelor's degree, and in some cases, you need a master's. It depends. But you most definitely need to have a degree. Some jobs require it. If you start your own business, you're not required to have a master's degree or whatnot because you're starting your own business. It's you, right? But somebody you may work for may require that. To get started in tech, do you need a degree? No. Does it help? Absolutely. I mean, we can look at the numbers and see that, right? It helps. But it also helps if you have skills. You can have a master's degree and not know nothing in tech. That don't necessarily mean you're gonna make 100K. That don't mean you're gonna make 200K, right? You got to stack your skills, right? So chances of becoming a millionaire with a high school degree by race: 6% for Asians, 5% for whites, Hispanics 2%, blacks 1%. Without a high school degree, you practically have no chance of becoming a millionaire across all races. These are their stats, not mine. Chances of becoming a millionaire with an associate's degree: 3, 7, 2, 1. For Asians, your chance of becoming a millionaire actually higher if you have a high school degree versus an associate's degree. Perhaps this is due to the prevalence of Asians in small businesses, right? If you're Hispanic or black, the percentage and probability of you becoming a millionaire does not change if you have a high school degree or an associate's degree. The chances of becoming one with a bachelor's 16, 18, 4, and 3. We moved up some, right? Chances of you becoming a millionaire with a master's 27%, 38%, Hispanic 11%, black 6%. By the time someone has a master's degree, chances of becoming a millionaire should be similar across races. However, the difference between the percentages, 38% and then black 16%, 6% is striking. Not my words, theirs. If I was a white person, a master's degree is exactly what I get. Maybe just not a master's degree in history or journalism if you want to become a millionaire. Unless Hispanic and Black people are getting master's degrees in mostly low-paying jobs, low-paying fields, the huge percentage disparity seems to be egregious. Put it differently, the chance of a Black person with a master's degree of becoming a millionaire is the same of an Asian person with only a high school degree. Ugh, read that again. Put it differently, the chance of a Black person with a master's degree becoming a millionaire is the same as an Asian person with only a high school degree. If that ain't a jab for you, it ain't say Black women, it ain't say Black men, it say Black people. Straight jab. A master's degree percentage discrepancy between whites and blacks is the strongest evidence of systematic racism. I'm not talking about one person hurling a racial slur. I'm talking about things like a private club where it's originally 100% whites for only 7 years. Today, the club says it's open to all races, but to get in, you need 5 letters of recommendation from existing members. If you're a minority, you will have a harder time getting this support network together. You see the same thing happening applying for preschools, private schools, and high paying jobs and so forth. People tend to take care of their own. To explain this huge difference is this. My theory is that people tend to take care of the people who's similar to themselves. Thus, if the majority of people in power are white, then more whites will benefit at the expense of other races. Therefore, the chances of becoming a millionaire is higher if you are white in a lower if you are white and lower in your minority. Um, and he goes on to talk about his stuff. Your chances of coming to age, the odds of being a millionaire change as you age. Look at this. It jumps up as you age. It look like for us it go down. We don't go up, we go down. The needle, it's not even moving upwards. So that means over time, it's just like we're not even accumulating wealth. And I think Ice Cube came out the other day and said that in 1865, the amount of land owned by blacks was 0.5%. In 2020, it was 0.5%. What you doing? Right? What you doing? And now Deacon dropped this link. I'm not gonna go all this is a very detailed link. There's a very detailed link, right? Do you like odds of becoming a millionaire? Look at this. So marriage, it said the length of the marriage from 0 to 50 years. And here, I guess this is the confidence of it. Cumulative percentage of women divorced from their first marriages. Okay. Asian families are particularly stable, divorcing at about half the rate of other Americans. We're high up on the divorce rate. We all know that. And check this out. This is all women for white. I like to say this is a very, very, very detailed. I can go on this one all day. I don't have time. D can drop this link. It's very detailing of what we're talking of what I'm talking about. So this often comes up. And D, you can drop this link too, because everybody's like, well, what is it for Black immigrants in the US and wealth? What does their wealth look like? Right? I'm not gonna go through this. I'm just highlighting this, but D can drop this one. Here, I'll drop it for you. Um this is Black immigrants. Let me read the comments. Lack of support, but let me tell you something. We got a lot. We got support, but we're not in the game. Oh, and let me say this because I'm being rude, right? Thank you for getting us to over 2,000 members on our YouTube channel. We're over 2,000 members on our YouTube channel. But I would like to see those 2,000 members, each one be a millionaire, right? At a minimum, we should be at 200,000. At a minimum, we should be at 200,000. At a minimum, we should be at 200,000. So who say y'all messy in the chat? What they messy about? We're on all of them. I'm on all of them. LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Facebook. We can all level up. You said, can we talk about you know what, Natasha? I don't even want to talk about the 1.6 trillion that we spend. Ain't nothing to talk about. I just showed you the stats. We already know what we're not doing. I just showed you the stats. We know what we're not doing. We know what we're not doing. Well, I don't need to talk about it, right? I don't need to talk about it, right? We already know what we're not doing. All right. So you can go through this link. I posted this. I don't want to, I got so much to go over. I don't have time to spend on this one right here. I wish I did, but I don't. Um, Let me pull this. This from Investopedia. Like I said, we're gonna talk about money. Number of millionaires continues to increase. Um, like I say, here we go right here. This is the highlight of this article for this page. And it looks kind of small, but let me blow it up some. The number of millionaires increased substantially between 20 and 21. Much of the new wealth was gained in the last half of 2020. The number of ultra high net worth individuals, the wealthiest category, grew by 24%. For the first time, more than 1% of the Americans are millionaires, and the average American net worth is 79,000. What is the average Black American net worth? Let me tell you. I went on a search to look that up. When I tell you nobody cares because I couldn't really find anything. Couldn't find nothing. I'm gonna have to spend some time and dig. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything. Nobody cared about the average Black net worth, right? Um However, the average wealth can be deceptive. About 5 trillion is in the hands of 745 billion, 745 American billionaires compared to 3 trillion with that is shared at the bottom half of the American households. The global wealth. The global numbers can be easily expressed with a pyramid shape. 55% of the adults worldwide have less than $10,000 in assets. Another 32.8 have 10,000 to $100,000 in assets. About 11% have 100,000 to 1 million in assets. Are you a part of the 55% that has $10,000 in assets? Less. Appreciate you all the congrats on that. Are you part of the 55% that has 10,000 or less in assets? 1% sits at the top. Sources of millionaires' wealth. Let's get to it. Becoming a millionaire may be easier than you think, is because you can have 401k millionaires, and I got a list of that too. It doesn't take rich parents to reach the top of the tax brackets. The majority of the millionaires say they built their fortunes themselves. 2021, a survey of U.S. millionaires by Ramsey Solutions found that 3% inherited more than $1 million from their parents. 79% didn't have an inheritance. Right? We know it's 724 billionaires in the U.S. What countries have the most? U.S. leads the world. Switzerland boasts that they lead in the number of millionaires per capita. 14.9% of Switzerland's population has a net worth of 1 million. Australia is in second place at 9.4%, and the U.S. is in third place, tied with Luxembourg at 8.8%. Right? So I went over to Black demographics. This is what Black demographics is reporting that y'all weekly income is if you're 25 years and older. It says the median average earnings by age is $800. By all races is 941. 25 years and old and over men is $900, 901. You know, I don't like to look at these. Right? And then they give you by president. Then they give you by per capita income. Males are at 40,000 to 50,000. I'm not sure with these years right here. Right? And women 35 to 41. Y'all in the same property tax bracket. Let me say that. If I'm just say that. So this is the one we've seen this before. I've shown this before. The 200K puts you up here, wealthy upper class. This is where we want to be. I'm just trying to give you a visual. You want to be up here. This right here shouldn't come across my timeline. We can't. We. This not even a conversation. See what y'all talking about. Yeah, Natasha, I'm gonna talk about all that a little bit later. What's going on, intentional millionaire? Appreciate you, Peter Investor. You can't just pivot consumption into business training. That takes wealth and assistance. Yeah, get on the Slack. Pull up. 200K and over. That's where we want to be. And from the looks of it, you need to get there sooner because over time your wealth decreases from these streets up here. From what this is saying, over time, odds of being a millionaire change as you age. Not everyone's chances, market, I guess, chances markedly improved as they get older. And let me tell you, I looked at something today earlier, and they was talking about the 2020, what happened with, in 2020, and it said that blacks were affected the most, that were business owners. And you all are making businesses in retail, you're making businesses in hospitality, and things that you have to provide a service, a physical service to someone. And when every time something comes up, we can't pivot from that because we're not involved in tech to pivot from that, right? So it was five things, and I didn't write them down. I'm gonna have to go back and look for them. It was five things. All right, so let's get into it. So what are some ways? I just want to put this out here that we can combat all these issues. Are you if you're embarrassed, type a one in the chat. Type a one in the chat if you're embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed reading it. I was mad actually, but I'm okay now. I'm better now. All right. So insurance policies. A billionaire buys 201 million dollar life insurance policy. And this is coming from 2014. This is 2014, right? Um, Dovey Francis, the advisor who arranged the policy, said will only say it is a well-known technology billionaire from California. The wealthiest or wealthiest buy life insurance for several reasons. Primary primary among them are tax purposes. A wealthy estate is hit with a hefty tax bill, and there may not be enough cash to cover it, since many millionaires and billionaires hold wealth and investments, he said. The $201 million policy is more complicated than most. It is underwritten by 19 insurance companies. Um, is 19 insurance companies, each with a slice of 20 million. He said, if a single lender took a whole policy, they would go bankrupt. They would go bankruptcy if an insurance policy is called, and plans to comes with a big cost. Francis said it is in a low single digit millions. I guess he's talking about the premium on it to have a $201 million life insurance policy. And it's probably like a whole life insurance policy. It's not a term policy. So after I read that, I went on a quest. Why the wealthy could buy could why the wealthy should consider buying life insurance policies, right? And they go in here, life insurance policy can be useful financial tool. It's possible to purchase more than one life insurance policy to meet your financial needs. Life insurance policies are not counted as part of an estate and not taxed by the federal government, which may appeal to individuals. A life insurance policy can be sold for its cash value. All right, we're talking articles. Tax laws favor life insurance. One reason why the wealthier may consider purchasing life insurance, it has to do with taxation. Tax law grants tax benefits to life insurance premiums and proceeds, affording asset protection in the process. The process of life insurance are also tax free to the beneficiary. This could be appealing to an individual with a higher net worth or anyone who seeks to minimize estate taxes. Policy owners with 11.7 million or less can leave this amount to their beneficiaries without having to pay estate taxes. As of these limits in 2021, as per the IRS, the proceeds of large life insurance policies can be used by the policy holders' heirs to pay tax bill for the individual whose estate surpasses the estate taxation threshold. We need to do a show on this. Insurance premiums also won't be subject to tax. It won't be subject to estate taxes. For example, if someone spends 500,000 for a $2 million life insurance policy, the initial premium payment comes out of the estate and won't be taxed. To look at the insurance policy premium another way, after tax value of the 500,000 is 300,000. Thus 200,000. They get this where the numbers get hairy. Let's go back on it. The value of 500,000 is 300,000. Thus the 200,000, which is the premium, and 300,000 estate tax. The family receives 2 million guaranteed life insurance payout. And that's a guaranteed return on a premium payment that is not taxed. You want to leave something? Don't go just buy your funeral costs. Do separate life insurance policies. One for your burial. If you're doing estate planning, right? And this is not financial advice. Let me say this. This is not financial advice. These are things that I just have discovered over time and looked up, and I'm just sharing this information with you. All right. Remember, you don't want to leave your family in debt. Well, maybe some of you do. I don't know. Some people like, I can't take this with me, and you ain't getting it either. Some people are that. I like that. But again, this is just one thing. Life insurance can protect business owners. If an entrepreneur co-owns a business, the life insurance can fund and sell agreement in the event of an owner's sudden death. D, this is what we should be looking at. A family business can also benefit a key person insurance policy. I don't know who's hitting me up. A key policy protects the firm from going under in the event that the key personnel passes away before the replacement is in place. The business itself serves as a beneficiary and is able to use the proceeds for things like hiring and training replacement employees, paying off outstanding business debts, or keeping up with day-to-day operations. Life insurance as an asset. Do y'all want me to drop this link so y'all can read it another time? Because you might not like. You may have other things to do. Let me do this. Life insurance is more than a death benefit. Depending on the type of insurance, it may have a cash value, intrinsic value, meaning you're paying into it every month or whatnot, or maybe you do a dump in. The cash value accumulation is the feature of certain types of permanent life insurance, which offers lifetime coverage. Thus, when the insurance is no longer needed, it can be sold as a life settlement. When properly structured, whole life insurance can offer steady tax-free dividends because they don't play the stock market, right? This means that your policy can provide, and there's certain whole life policies that have a yearly return between 6 and 11%. You're just putting your money in there. You could take loans out. There's no stipulation on the loans. Just another way to get some money and put some money away, and do estate planning, right? And they go on. I don't want to go all into this because we can go on. You can see this article is long. I'm not gonna go all into it, but I just wanted to give you that food for thought. Let me see. Do I want to go over this? I might. Let me look at it. I really want to get to this other one. Oh yeah. Let's talk about this. The Kardashian West life insurance policy. Let's talk about it. Kim Kardashian and former husband Kanye West will likely continue to be one of the most notable couples in celebrity history. Whether you were Team Kim Ye prior to the announcement of their split, or you could do without their seemingly constant media attention both together and apart. When details soon when the details of the soon to be former couple prenuptial agreement were released to the public in 2014, it was clear that both Kardashian and West knew a thing or two about protecting what is important to them. The legally binding document spelled out that Kanye's amassed fortune at the time in excess of 100 million would be transferred to Kim in the event of death. A permanent life insurance policy with a death benefit of 20 million was purchased to offset any debts, estate taxes, and final expenses Kim may incur should Kanye pass. A death benefit of 20 million. As policy premiums are paid and policy remains in force, Kardashian and the children will be protected against financial disaster due to death, no matter when that may occur. Now that is sound estate planning. It is if it isn't clear that life insurance policy will remain in its place in light of couples divorce. So again, when you're talking about getting married, prenups, everybody talking about a prenup, you need to be talking about life insurance too, right? All right, let's get it. I wanted to know what was the richest county in Colorado, and let me see if I have the one for the richest county in all of the U.S. I have richest counties in all of the U.S. Let me see if I know I had looked it up. Let me see if I got it on my list here. If not, I can look it up. It's no big deal. No, I have it on here. I thought I copied it over, but I guess I didn't. All right. Here's how much people make in the richest county in Colorado. In today's modern world, there are such realities as $7 cup of coffee, designer clothing, and handbags, and blah 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 blah. The typical household in the county ranks in about 115,000 a year, according to the published report. Right. So, richest counties um, by state is what I had looked up earlier. Okay, here we go. This came out in March of 2021. Let's get to it. Um, okay, the ad goes away. Let me. I thought I had Firefox. Let me open this up in Safari because I'm tired of the pop-ups. I should have my pop-up blocker on, but I don't. Um, Let me open this up. Is this Safari? Okay, yeah, this must be Safari. Okay. Okay. Alabama. The county is Shelby. Um, so Alabama again, most black people live in the southeast. Majority of the black people in the United States live in the southeast. Alaska, Juneau, Arizona, I don't know, is this Maricopa, Arkansas, Benton County, California, Santa Clara, Colorado, Douglas County, Connecticut, Fairfield County, Delaware, Newcastle, Florida is St. John's. Georgia is Forsyth, Hawaii is Honolulu, Idaho is Teton County, Illinois is Kendall, Indiana is Hamilton, Idaho, Iowa is Dallas, Kansas is Johnson City, Oldham is Kentucky, Ascension Parish is Louisiana, Maryland is Howard, Maine is Cumberland, Massachusetts is Nantucket, Livingston County is Michigan, Mississippi is Madison, I'm skipping. Montana is Jefferson. Nevada is Lander. New Hampshire is Rockingham. New Mexico is Los Alamos. That's kind of obvious. Nassau, New York. North Carolina is Wake. North Dakota, Williams. Ohio is Delaware. Oklahoma is Canadian County. Oregon is Washington. Pennsylvania is Chester. South Dakota is Lincoln, Texas is Rockwell, Utah is Summit, Vermont is Chittenden, and Virginia is Loudoun County with a median household in 2019 of 142,000. Washington is King County, West Virginia is Jefferson, Wisconsin is 87. And the richest county in the US breakdown. All right, the richest counties they got it here. Let me see. Do they have the numbers? Let me go. Median household 2019 change. Median 2020 2019. All right. Is that in order? Maybe it's like this. Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Minnesota, Utah. Is that right? That ain't right. Because we got Virginia right here, 142. It's not putting it in order. But that's where your numbers is at. Where your counties is at. All right. So do y'all know why people move to Wyoming? Why so many billionaires are fleeing to Teton County? Just talk about this, Wyoming, right? John Truitt made millions on oil and gas CEO since moving to Teton County, Wyoming, an area inhabited by increasing number of wealthy transplants like himself. His biggest passion has been becoming a normal person. When he visits downtown bars, I don't tell people that I live in a gated community. They accept me for who I am. The billionaire wilderness, the ultra wealthy, and the remaking of the American West. There's a reason why I'm bringing up um, Wyoming. Sasha should know, but this is just another reason. Um, this is where Kanye lives as well too. All right, let me pull this up. It's not only Wyoming town that high profile neighbors that rapper Kanye, who recently bought 14 million or 9,000 acres in Cody, Wyoming, just 300 miles from Teton, which encompasses almost half of Yellowstone National Park and the Jackson Hole ski resort or ski area, has seen the biggest change in financial identity. In 2015, 80% of all the income in Tanton, around 3.4 billion, was from financial investments, not from ordinary jobs. That's I guess a 6,500% increase since 1970. That when it was 52 million. So let's blow this up. It's over here. Okay. It says, okay, in 2018. The report from the Economic Policy Institute, the wealthiest 1% in Teton County, it bringing an annual income that's approximately 142 times more than that of 99% of the Americans in the county. The average per capita income in Teton is just over 251,000, the highest in the country, according to the Department of Commerce, and the rest of Wyoming doesn't even come close. The most counties are ranging in between 40,000 to 50,000, and none going above 70,000. Coming second in Tenton is Manhattan, with an average income is 194,000. All right, that's where we're at. All right. So why did I bring Wyoming up? So when I was with looking at hacking with the homies yesterday, we were talking about DAOs or DAOs, we should say, which can be treated as an LLC, which can be treated as can be looked at as an LLC. Let's get into it. The American Crypto Fed DAO is now the first decentralized autonomous organization to be legally recognized in the United States. Wyoming DAO bill paved the way for cryptocurrency milestone. Wyoming DAO bill passed in March of 2021 and is legally recognized DAO as a distinct form of an LLC. This means that DAOs that register in the state of Wyoming are legally recognized as a business entity in the United States and therefore receive the same legal protections as an LLC. Wyoming bill went into effect July 1st at midnight, 11 minutes after midnight. The American Crypto Fed DAO became the first DAO to receive approval from the state of Wyoming. All right. Wyoming is leading the digital assets jurisdiction in the USA, and now with a DAO law, Wyoming is arguably the top blockchain jurisdiction in the world. What this means is that creating a true digital currency with a mass acceptance is now possible. It is important to note that a DAO is not supposed to have a business hierarchy and a CEO. In my time, a CEO would vanish and all the governance tokens holders would be voting for governance matters without the influence. What is a DAO? A DAO stands for a decentralized autonomous organization. A DAO is a entity that is governed by its members via the creation of proposals that decide that the DAO's next steps. Subsequently, members vote on those proposals either in favor or against a decision being put forward. Now, I talked about this yesterday when I was on hacking with the homies, and we were talking about should the DAO have a white paper. You can create a DAO online. You can then create an open source project around it. Excuse me, let me plug up my stuff. Create an open source project around this DAO. You then can distribute who has what inside that DAO. Again, it can be treated as a business entity. Should you go to Wyoming and just create something, a DAO? Why not? You creating LLCs. Why not? But look at the effects of it. Look what you can do with it. Look what can be done with it, right? All right, so some DAOs have a very broad mission, and I'm going to a conference, a fund conference in April, and there are people there that have created DAOs and have created crypto funds, and they have an excess wealth of $1 billion in those funds. So again, proximity to wealth, proximity to what people are doing, and where money is being talked about and generated is important. When it comes to their existence and purpose, others like Or's American Crypto DAO has a specific goal. For example, It aims to create a monetary system with zero inflation, zero deflation, and zero transaction costs. Wyoming became pushed to become a blockchain hub. I like to do these numbers. Number of black people living in Wyoming. You could guess what it is, right? Wyoming black population is 7,461 in 2019, up from its previous year. So they added about 60 people, 0.09%, 0.09%, 0.09%. Somebody was like, just Kanye. No, they got 7,500 out there in the whole entire state of Wyoming. That's a lot to me. All right, let's get back into it. Watch my notes. Okay, yep. So Wyoming passed a law that allowed digital asset business to become special purpose depository institutions in Wyoming, SPDI. Is similar to a custody bank. It primarily focuses on storing assets, fiduciary management, and conducting a variety of transactions. In addition, SPDIs are prohibited from making loans with customer deposits of fiat currency, and they must keep 100% of their assets in reserve. Wyoming is looking to become the home of business working with innovative technology like blockchain and digital assets. The regulatory clarity that the state is providing digital asset business with its attracting blockchain and cryptocurrency businesses around the globe in the cowboy state. So what I like to do is I always like to go to Zillow, Redfin. You pick one, and let's look at Wyoming. I Texan Wyoming. We can look at Wyoming, but let's look at Wyoming County. And let's look at land because y'all ain't gonna live there. So let's remove the boundary. All right, we got 180 acres for, I mean, 3.98 acres for 180,000. Got 7.5 acres for 500,000. You got 125 acres for I mean, 0.25 acres for 125. What's this one right here? You're in the middle of nowhere, but you ain't doing nothing but establishing. That's 449,000 with 7.4 acres. 3 point 3.34, and it looked like you can set it up. The bill looks like here, an island park reserve. Can you build on this? Protect your investment with an active HOA and covenants. This is one of the largest lots on the entire island. A fully T-reed or treed lot ensures privacy from neighbors. Short-term rentals welcome. So y'all looking to park money. Me, if I were me and I had money, and I'm looking to park, I would probably start looking at Wyoming. I would look to invest. I would look to build. Just if we're going Airbnb or whatever the case may be, I don't care. But that's something I would look at. Something I probably will look at. Time to make a visit. All right, DAO Wyoming. They got some information for you. Here's a PDF. Decentralized autonomous organization frequently asked questions for Wyoming. Here's the number. In touch with Wyoming Secretary of State in their business division. How do I form a DAO? A DAO can be formed either online or by mailing paper form. For online filers, begin with selecting a business entity of type of LLC. Step one, select the decentralized autonomous organization as an additional designation from the drop-down menu. You can do this all online. They had to walk you through the steps. Here we go. Are there any special naming requirements? The name of the name must include, it could be Women in Linux, DAO LLC, or a combination of the entity for both DAO and LLC. The name must include DAO or LAO. The name must include words LLC or abbreviations of LLC. How much does it cost? The initial filing fee is $100. An annual report is due every year. The fee for which is a minimum of $60. The fee is calculated based as all assets located and employed in Wyoming. The tax is $60 and 0.2 million, whichever is greater. When is the earliest I can register a DAO? That was July 1st of 2021. Can I reserve a DAO prior to that? Do I have to live in Wyoming? No. You can register a DAO regardless of where you reside. You must have a Wyoming registered agent who meets the statutory requirements. A DAO have to have a registered agent. Yes, just as all other LLCs. If I currently have an LLC registered, can I convert it to a DAO? Yes. Can I register my DAO, my out of state DAO? No. How does it differ from an LLC? Unlike a standard LLC, which is managed by human members and managers, a DAO can be managed either by human members, managers, or algorithmically. Rhythmically. What is a smart contract? A smart contract is an automated transaction as defined by G or any substantially similar analog, which is comprised of code, script, or programming language. You don't have to manage it. It can be managed online. And there are online places that you can create a DAO. Where can I find more about DAO? Here it is. And D can drop this link if you're interested in this PDF. Let me scroll back up. Let's go. NFTs. I talked about the wine NFT last week. Now we're talking about a wine investment platform. Vent releases three NFTs on behalf of Emmett Scorson. This was on February the 18th for auction. I went to the one that we were looking at and I couldn't get in because there's nothing to sign up right now. However, I did go to Arrived Homes and I did sign up on Arrived Homes. I did log in and sign up on Arrived Homes. Let me get logged in on that. We're gonna talk about this, but let me get logged in here. All right, I'm logged in. I'll bring this over afterwards. Vent is the first SEC fully transparent, efficient platform for wine and spirits investing. Announced that three individual NFTs in collaboration with Emmett Scorson, producer of Judge Palmer, I guess Dominica Amato, and Emmett Scorson wines. The offering marks the first NFT offered by a Sonoma-based winery and the first NFT collection, including wines made from grapes sourced from the famed Beck Stolford, Toe Collin, and George Third Vineyards. Each token entitles buyers to own three signed bottles of Judge Palmer Cabernet Sauvignon wine, Sauvignon, an exclusive invite for two to harvest wine maker dinner and two custom tasting experiences. This was the 16th to the 23rd was that auction. But there's also other wine platforms, NFT platforms. This one is WIV. WIV is this particular one. The wine NFT marketplace. So basically, on here is with OpenSea, and you can come in and you can pick a bottle of wine that you want to invest in as an NFT, right? As an NFT, non fungible token. We're gonna be on NFT for the next three links. $3 million hack of NFT, and nothing of value was lost. OpenSea. OpenSea, the NFT marketplace, got hacked last week. This is February 21st, so that's last week. Or perhaps it didn't. The firm denies it, but also brags about the updated code that would have prevented the non-hack. You decide. In any case, 32 users got their NFTs tokens comprehensively funged. This follows OpenSea's December 2020 plagiarism scandal in 2021 and the loss of 1.8 million. But who ascribes any value to worthless tokens and so forth, right? Fake money, funds, fake property, and they go into all these fakeness. So again, you're gonna have to be careful if you're playing in the NFT market. What does that look like? Where are you storing stuff at? Do you all have physical wallets instead of online wallets? You need to do that. Could have had this show on Sundays. I don't know. I don't know. Let's get into this as well too, and we're gonna talk about what we always talk about: tech stocks and jobs. Mega Mutant Ape Yacht NFT that cost 3.8 million revealed. Here are the details that are how many are left. A rare mutant ape yacht club non-fungible token or NFT has unveiled this the first time Tuesday night. Here are the details. What happened? The Mutant Ape Yacht Club has unveiled a mega trippy. The NFT is one of only 11 mega mutant ape yacht clubs in existence. The event was hosted on Twitter Spaces, a live audio, and 28 more than 2,000 people listed and were among the first to see the image when it revealed on Twitter. The NFT was created as a result of combining Bored Ape Yacht with Mega Serum. Bored Ape number 5235 came with the following traits. Here's that, and here's what the Mega one, and then they combined and created this new one. Now you ask yourself, you like, what does all this mean? Why should I be investing in NFTs? You don't have to. Um, but I showed you the one for Gulfport. They end up paying 655 for this house. See, the selling price was 651. The new winner paid 655 for the home. The title of the Gulfport home will be turned into an NFT. The owner said that some of the benefits of using crypto are the speed and efficiency of the transaction. 2,000 people signed up for the auction because they have their money in crypto, right? And they're probably going to turn it into an Airbnb. But it also had a mural in the house that they could make money off of as well too. Ice phishing or phishing on the blockchain. Technologies that connect us usually continually advancing And while this brings tremendous new capabilities to users, it also opens up a new attack surface for adversaries and abusers. Social engineering represents a class of threats that extend to virtually every technology that enables human connection, right? So it says credential phishing haunts our customers day to day out in the web too, which is a version of the internet that most of us are familiar with and use today. It's profitable business for cyber criminals, even if the margins are slim, right? It said, but now imagine if an attacker can single handedly grab a chunk of nearly 2.2 trillion US dollar cryptocurrency market capitalization and do almost completely anonymously. The change of the dynamics of the game is exactly what's happening in the Web3 multiple times a month, right? So people are that's the other thing. This is why I'm bringing these things up. So you may not get into NFTs directly, but you may get into the security around NFTs. You may get into security around DAOs. You may get into security around the cloud and how transactions happen and what blockchain security is. These are just things that you all need to be thinking about as you're looking at this, right? It's not just, hey, I'm just gonna go dive off into Web3. What about all the other stuff that you've been doing, right? Your security, how does that look? Compliance, what does that look like? These are things that you need to be looking at, right? Smart contracts, like they say, front end, smart contract front ends, the decentralized exchange, phishing attacks, right? These are things to look at. And I'm gonna hold this off to next week because I want to really go through this in detail from a security perspective. We probably have to do this on Howie Linux. We're gonna break this down on Howie Linux. Okay. So here's my login on Arrived Homes. So right here is $11,000 that's available. This was built in 2018. It's 1788 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. You can buy shares. I think there's a minimum investment of $10. I mean 100, right? Yeah, so you can do 100, right? And they also talk about go back. Um, Hold it up. 2.5% historical property appreciation, with property equity returns of 3%. Two rental income historically is 4.48%. The historical return is 7.64 a year. Past performance does not guarantee future. All right, so they got a historical return of that, and you can just click around in here. So far, 185 investors, 21.95 a month, built in 2019. A historical return of 7.7%, and they just go on. I just wanted to see what it was like if you got on the platform, and you can invest as low as $100, and they tell you what they have left to invest in. Let me see. Scroll up. It's got 79,000. 76,000. I don't know. You may be feeling froggy and just take the whole thing to cut down on the investors. There's 117 investors. This one got 203, and it's 96% fully funded. So say if you buy shares and you just buy the max available, so you're getting 1,164 shares. Most popular is 2,500. So I don't know. You may want to jump in, do. But again, when we was looking at this, you holding 5 to 7 years on this. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Next up, KFC. KFC really accepting Dogecoin now. KFC. A post on Twitter regarding a branch of Yum, which is the larger branch of for the larger holding of KFC. Excuse me. Excuse me. Uh, KFC is accepting payment in Dogecoin turned out to be fake. What happened? A prominent name in the Dogecoin community took to Twitter to say that the account that tweeted that the news about KFC branch in Utah accepting Dogecoin was fake, and the scammers have changed their Twitter handle. Right. However, the Twitter handle that posted the news apologized for the joke taken too far. Apologies for the joke was taken too far. Didn't mean for it to go viral. Because people will go invest in Doge and be like, "Hey, I'm going to KFC," right? So it was fake. All right. So those that watched the Super Bowl, did you see the QR code that was bouncing around? Well, if you scan the QR code from the Super Bowl, and thank you for the guide here, Oracle. Thank you. Uh, if you scan the QR code from the Super Bowl or any QR code, the FBI has a warning for you. Now, restaurants are good about this. So I thought about this. What if I went to a restaurant and took their menu that they had on the little stand and replaced it with the same menu that they had, but that QR code led to a virus. And when you click on the link from that QR code, it goes through and downloads all your Apple Pay information, or it goes through and downloads all your information on your phone, and then sends it to me. Right? I could do that. Who would know the difference? How would you know? The most talked about ad was for the Super Bowl was the colorful QR code bouncing around on the television. If you pointed a camera on your smartphone at it, you were taking the Coinbase site. The ad generated so much traffic that Coinbase it crashed their site or crashed their app. As I wrote previously, it is a bad thing when you're trying to convince people that you should trust you with their financial asset. Most important, however, is that the QR code seems to be finally making its way to mainstream. One reason is for QR codes are popping up everywhere as a way to direct customers to information without having to hand them a piece of paper or take a chance that they might mistype a URL. There are problems, however. Not every QR code is what it seems, and they have been a tool for bad actors. That's why the FBI is warning customers to be aware anytime they scan a QR code, take the steps to protect the information. While the FBI warning isn't specifically in response to Coinbase ad, there's an important lesson here for not just consumers but business owners as well. The beauty of the QR code is that instead of asking someone to remember a website, they can just scan the QR code. The other downfall of that is like I said, if I want to embed something in that QR code, I could embed something in that QR code that you're sitting at the table at, right? I could do that. If I made a mistake on the domain, blah blah blah, you're probably not going to type in that into the website. On the other hand, if I embed it in a QR code and send it out in a convincing email, then you would scan it. You would see based coin based AD and might not pay much attention to the rest. It's not hard to make a copycat website design or steal your personal information or your Bitcoin, right? And this is with QR codes. Remember that when you take it, it's a picture. You're taking a picture or something. Let me see how much time I got. Be 2 o'clock. All right. I won't go over everything. I'm gonna go and say this. Okay. I say the other one. I say the rest of it for my next one. I know what I want to talk about, but here we go. All right, Volkswagen and top investors look to take Porsche public. Analysts estimate Porsche AG could be valued at up to $102 billion in an IPO. You all heard about the 3,900 or 3,700 uh, cars sitting off the coast that burned on that ship. They were valued over like 500 million, right? I talked about this. Let me not use that one. Wall Street Journal want me to sign in. But I think it was, let me see, do they have the numbers broken down like how everybody else had it broken down? Yeah, so an estimated 1,100 Porsches, 189 Bentleys were lost on the ship, including many high-end customized models that were collectively would have exceeded 140 million. Volkswagen owns Lamborghini, Porsche, and Audi, right? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that Volkswagen owned Lamborghini, Porsche, and Audi? 1,100 Porsches and 189 Bentleys. Mm-mm-mm. Can you go in the water and claim those as your own, as like a treasure? I don't know. All right, so we talked about the Wyoming. We talked about this, but I want to pull this up, and I'm not going to look at all of the video. We are going to I'm going to summarize my take on the video, and let me find my history. Hold on. Where's my history at? All right. And let me pull that up. I found it to be very good. And there's one other thing we're gonna try to talk. I'm trying to squeeze all this. Ooh, it's gonna be tight. Do 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 do. Where is it at? Oh, right here. Let's pull this over. So I don't know if y'all caught this. I'm gonna give you my take on what I got out of this.
I'm here with Steve Harvey, businessman, entertainer, and philanthropist. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start on the topic of mentorship. How important was mentorship in your own life in getting you from a homeless comedian to all of the success that you have now?
A boy without a male role model or a mentor is like an explorer without a map. It's just so hard to reach manhood. And then on top of that, it becomes extremely difficult to turn yourself into something without mentorship. And this really became really pronounced for me at my father's funeral. My father passed when I was 43, and it was one of the most crushing moments of my life. And I was sitting at my father's funeral looking at him, and I realized at that particular day that if it wasn't for this guy, that there's no way I'm sitting here today. I had already reached a measure of success by the end. I was already had overcome a lot of major obstacles, didn't know I had a whole lot more to go, but I'd already overcome so many obstacles. And it was because of the mental attitude that he had instilled in me as a man.
All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. So what I got out of this really quickly was mentorship, turning yourself into something but there's a guide there. Like you all try to tackle this all by yourself, and you can't do it all by yourself when we want to. Man and woman, right? Man and woman, right? You don't need to tackle it all by yourself. Another one, another thing I got out of it was work ethics. The other thing that I got out of this video is, and I say it all the time, your word is your bond. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. And then what he did was he helped others. He created foundation. I always tell you the biggest thing to do, if you want to test to see if you know something, you need to show people what you've learned and help others. When you do that, that's when you're gonna really start to see where where your own personal flaws are at. You're gonna get creative with how you talk to people. You're gonna get creative with how you convey information. You're gonna get creative with how you approach problems, right? You're gonna get creative is the point, right? And you're gonna be uncomfortable to do it at first, but it's gonna become natural to you. Another one that I got out of it was sponsorship, right? Being able to have someone sponsor you, kick down the door and speak your name before you even enter the room. Your name is already spoken. The highlight of you is spoken. You don't know how many times that I've been on interviews where it happens two ways. I'm interviewing someone, or or someone is interviewing me, and people be like, I'm having a fan moment here because I watch your show, I watch this, I watch that. And it's a really amazing to me to know that people are watching me. Shout out to Yolanda Clark. She was on Eric's show. We had an amazing conversation yesterday, and I had reached out to her on LinkedIn after I had seen her on Eric's show. And when I had reached out to her on LinkedIn, she was like, "I've been watching you. I've been following you." I was like, I didn't even know people was watching like that. You just never know who's watching you. You never know who gets put in your path and the reason why someone gets put in your path. You would be so busy denying a blessing that has been ordained for you, and you'll block it because you're in your own way. Those numbers we saw this morning were embarrassing to me. Not from not from a perspective of how you thinking. Disheartening, I don't want to say disheartening, but embarrassing. Like, so you mean to tell me my mama and my mama and my mama and them, we still ain't there? We still not there. We still can't make it. We still where we still behind. All right. The other thing I got out of this is my interpretation of this one is kick in the door. I ain't say wave the 4-4. I just said kick in the door. I don't want you to go to jail for waving the 4-4. All right. The other one I got out of this is like, this is great when we're looking at the movies, like cavalry is coming over the horizon and they coming in to save the people. Ain't nobody coming to save you. No one's coming to save you, right? This is a community. We gotta uplift and protect each other. We gotta uplift and protect each other, right? I'm gonna continue, but I want to fast forward through something because I want you to hear it from him, and then I'm gonna repeat it.
And his mentorship and what he taught me about work.
What does that mean for you, and how critical is that sponsorship to Black success?
Well, I mean, it's absolutely critical because, look, it's daunting in the workplace. Corporate America is daunting for anybody of any color. But I think it's fair to say that when you add the element of your skin color to it, you've got some more hurdles because you don't know who's in the supervisory capacity. And so not only do you need mentorship, you've got to have somebody who puts their hands on your shoulders and guides you through the maze. You got to have somebody going, okay, when this happens, turn left. When this happens, and it's usually somebody that's been there, done that. And it's critical because there's some extra hurdles you're going to have to deal with. I mean, look, I know the average American doesn't like to admit to that, but that's the way it is. It's just extra. You know, I've had to be more than my counterparts to get to where I am today, and I knew it. I had an executive one time at the WB said, Steve, if you say I told you this, I'll swear up and down I didn't. And because I was asking for a raise on my sitcom because Buffy and the Vampire, this little teenage girl, was making more money than me. But my ratings was higher than hers. And I went to him and asked for the raise. And he simply told me, he said, listen, because you have a Black sitcom, you fit into the multicultural budgets of most companies, and they just don't pay as much. Say, so you can have the same rating, but I can't pay you because your show doesn't bring in the same amount of dollars. And that was a rude awakening to me. And I'm going, wait a minute, I'm doing the same thing and better. And he says, well, I think you know by now you got to do more. And I really appreciated this guy for just being really that honest with me. And so a lot of that still goes on. So sponsorship is critical. You know, you got to have people, guys that have heard these conversations in the boardroom with people who were honest with them. That's saying, look, I know this is wrong, but this is what's happening. And this is how you circumvent it. This is how you get around it. And you got to have that in your life.
So key thing right there. He said sponsorship and he said boardroom. When we're talking and we're having these discussions online, we're not even in the game. So we can't even talk about the boardroom. We're either creating our own boardroom or we're going up the corporate ladder. I don't care how you do it. I don't care which one you choose. But don't do it by yourself. Find a mentor. Find somebody to sponsor you. Latch on. Get in these clubs. Attend meetings. Knock on the doors. Have communication, open line communication with the CEOs. I have not met a CEO yet that doesn't say that you can't contact me. And people got mad at me on the stream when I said, go set up an appointment with a CEO. No, really, go set up an appointment with a CEO. Go talk to them. Go ask them. They human. They put on their clothes. They bleed just like you. Go talk to them. Go find out, what their path was, what their success was, what they see for the company. Keep your name in their mouth. Oh, I met such and such and such and such the other day, and I know what. Look at the org charts. Look at where they came from, who they interact with, how they talk to people, what business they go after. I'm not telling you to be their friend. I'm telling you to learn how to move in and out of lanes, move in and out of circles. You're not going to always be in the same circle. Right? Let's go on.
Looking over this past.
Hold on.
If it's tougher, if you got to do more to be on TV, that stands to reason that you got to do more to be in business. And it's harder to get loans because, you live in a certain area with a certain area code. You automatically, when that's on your loan application, they're very aware of the district that you live in, and they're aware of the taxes that's being paid in that number. They're very aware of the average income in that neighborhood. So you're trying to open up a business in an underserved community, and banks don't have a real tendency to loan money when they don't see exactly how they're going to be able to get it all back. And you got to jump through those hurdles. So we got to have special programs in place that.
Let me tell you what he said. He said banks don't loan money based on a certain area code. Okay, so this how that breaks down too. That certain area code also is determined about what type of funding goes to that school system, right? It also determines what about how teachers are getting paid. It also determines the value of the house. That's why when people are looking at houses, especially families, they're looking for schools, and especially people who flip houses as well too. They look for schools with an A rating or B rating, particularly an A rating, because they know they're going to have someone that's going to come buy that house or somebody who's going to come rent the house. They're going to have a customer. So if they're going to have a customer and I live in an A rating school system, then that means that I can get my money back. I am the bank and I want my money back. So they're looking at areas that have those ratings, right? So one of the other things he said, it determines the funding. It determines how much you're gonna get loan. It determines your tax bracket. It determines how you are viewed as a customer. Don't think for 1 minute that there is not an algorithm that has gathered every place that you have been, every place that you spend your money, every place you buy, every place, every website that you visit, every piece of clothing that you buy, every food that you buy, where you're spending your money at, the those zip codes and stuff that you're traveling to and everything. There's a profile of you, and that profile determines whether or not I'm going to get my money back from you or not, right? The taxes in that area. It also determines how you would interact, right? It's determining who you gonna come in contact with. Because 9 times out of 10, if you this way, you probably got a circle of friends that's a certain way as well too, right? Be aware of where you spend your money at. If you're always leaving your zip code to go spend money in another zip code, you're depriving the zip code where you're at. It's the hard truth. So what ends up happening is your zip code gets depreciated, right? Your value, your house, your home, your school gets depreciated. It becomes a food desert, and you're always traveling out of the food desert to go somewhere else. Bring the groceries back to your area. Build your area up, right? He also launched an NFT. His NFT is centered around content creators, business investment, tech, and he's turning his own comedy into NFTs and his own shows into NFTs as well too. Basically capitalizing off of that. He looks for companies that are invested into helping others. The companies he listed was Acorns Tech, minority owned companies, Airbnb, GameStar, Moon Ultra, and Block Cap. One of the biggest things that he said is stopping us. And one of the things he does in his foundation is financial literacy. Money needs to work while you sleep. Money programs need to be placed in neighborhoods. Through his foundation, he doesn't teach just the kid financial literacy. He teaches the adults, whether it be the mother or the son or the mother and the father, or just the mother or just the father. But everyone has to go through a financial literacy boot camp. He is not sold on Bitcoin. He does own Ethereum and Bitcoin, but he would not put all his money into it. And he said, millionaire in crypto, but where is the money at? Where's the physical dollars at? That's what I got out of that video. That's my summarization. I'm gonna stop right here because I keep going because I got a whole bunch of other stuff. We'll be back in 20 minutes because I think it's 12 here. We come back at 2:30. I got my water here. I'm gonna drink some quick water, get me a snack. I'm gonna be ready to roll at 2:30. I got more information to go over that I want to talk about. I'm also gonna be very technical on the next show in terms of um, getting to the bag and also your tech skills. But I'm gonna stop it here. I can go on. I'll see you all at 20 minutes, right? In 20 minutes. So see you then.